Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. 10 years in the NFL, 4 years all-pro tight end with the Cincinnati Bengals without a ring. There are millions watching around the country and the world, and we'd like to focus in on one lady in East Brady, Pennsylvania. She'll be watching alone. She's recovered from a heart attack recently. She likes to be alone because she can yell at the TV set, and she'll be cheering for her son, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, Alice Kelly. And we have a feeling that if this man, Jim Kelly, unsuccessful in 3 previous Super Bowls, should win that elusive ring today, it'll go home to Mom.
Yeah, she deserves it too. 6 sons. Speaking of mothers, Jimmy Johnson told us this week when we got to Atlanta that last year he was really criticized for not inviting his parents. So the first thing he told us was, I invited CW and Aline, all expenses paid, to this Super Bowl, but they would rather stay home too and watch.
There are 2 historical moments of fact here for only the second time in all of American sports pro team history, all sports, not just football, a team has lost 3 championships and made it to a 4th. Cleveland Browns did it. They won in their 4th try. That's Buffalo's hope. And for Dallas, the NFC champions, they're going for the knockout. 10 in a row. They're going to try to count 10 times down the AFC.
And you know, Dick, last year Jimmy Johnson said he had a royal flush. I think he's got a small straight this week. I think Buffalo has a chance to win this game.
And we'll meet the principals, the starting lineups from the Georgia Dome coming up.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Bowl 28. Let's meet the National Football Conference champion, Dallas Cowboys. And now here are the Cowboys' offensive starters. At wide receiver from Tennessee, number 80, Alvin Harper. At left tackle from Hawaii, number 71, Mark Tuanay. At left guard from Florida A&M, number 61, Nate Newton. At center from Cal State Sacramento, number 63, John Giesing. At right guard from Washington, number 66, Kevin Gogan. At right tackle from Central State, number 79, Eric Williams. At tight end from Wyoming, number 84, Jay Novacek. At wide receiver from Miami, number 88, Michael Irvin. At running back from Florida, number 22, Emmitt Smith. At fullback from Syracuse, number 48, Darrell Johnston. At quarterback from UCLA, number 8, Troy Aikman. And the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson. And now the American Football Conference champion, Buffalo Bills. Let's meet the Bills' offensive starters. At wide receiver from Towson State, number 82, Don Beebe. At left tackle from Arizona, number 70, John Vina. At left guard from Arizona, number 74, Glenn Parker.
Here we go, baby, here we go.
At center from Mississippi State, number 67, Ed Hall. At right guard from Georgia Tech, number 65, John Davis.
Here we go, baby, here we go.
At right tackle from Alabama A&M, number 75, Howard Ballard. At tight end from Wabash, number 88, Pete Metzelaars. At wide receiver from Touchdown State, number 83, Andre Reed. At wide receiver from Boston University, number 80, Bill Brooks. At running back from Oklahoma State, number 34, Thurman Thomas. At fullback from Louisville, number 35, Carwell Gardner. At quarterback from Miami, number 12, Jim Kelly. And the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Marv Levy. And now, to honor America by singing our national anthem, the Atlanta University Center Chorus, conducted by David Morrow. Our featured performer is 7-time Grammy Award winner Natalie Cole.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through a perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched
And now for the coin toss ceremony. Coming to midfield are Dallas captains Eddie Murray, Bill Bates, Jim Jeffcoat, Ken Norton, Kevin Gogan, and Michael Irvin. Representing Buffalo are captains Jim Kelly, Kent Hull, Andre Reed, Darryl Talley, Mark Kelso, and Steve Tasker. The referee for today's game is Bob McElwee. Joining them on the anniversary of the New York Jets win over Baltimore in Super Bowl III is Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath.
Dallas, you are the visiting team. You have the choice. Who's going to call the toss? Captain Bates. Gentlemen, this is the commemorative coin. This is a tail. That's a head. Over here, gentlemen. That's the tail. And there's the head. Captain Bates, please call it while it's in the air. Joe, would you please toss the coin? Tails, he says. Tails, he said. It is a tail.
What the ball?
Dallas has won the toss. What goal? What goal do you want to see? Would you turn around, please, fellas? Jim, bring your fellas.
You can hear Bill Bates, one of the captains of the Cowboys. We want the ball, so they'll be on offense. And it's interesting that Steve Tasker, the special teams Pro Bowl star of the Buffalo Bills, had told us before, I hope we lose the toss. There he is, 89. Because I want to go down under that kickoff and get the first hit of the game. And how about Joe Willie Namath, now 50 years young, in the memories it stirs of the ultimate upset in Super Bowl history, Super Bowl III. And for the fans around the country rooting, there's Namath. And he represents what all of the AFC fans hope might happen today, and it would be another major upset should Buffalo defeat Dallas. The two coaches, Marv Levy, the dean of NFL coaches, he is 65.
Philosophical, quotes authors, presidents, prime ministers to get his football team up. A true administrator. On the other side of the field, Jimmy Johnson, emotional. He treats each player differently. He'll guarantee victory. He'll take chances. Even says, you're taking a chance about me.
He'll take those chances to the field as well. Not with that man, 22 Emmitt Smith, who did not play the first two games of the season for the Cowboys. They lost both, holding out on a contract issue. But Emmitt Smith, playing in only 14 plus losing a game with injury, led the league for the third consecutive year in rushing. And Thurman Thomas led the AFC in total yards. He had led the NFL in total scrimmage yards 4 years previous, a record breaking Jim Brown, and we're set to go. Steve Christie. It's interesting that this game and all our friends to the north features two kickers from Canada. Christie for the Bills and veteran Eddie Murray for Dallas. Deep to return for the Cowboys, Kevin Williams, 85, and we're underway. Super Bowl 28, a high spinner to the two. Williams, a rookie from Miami, has a hole on the sidelines at the 40. Christie can't get him, and out of bounds at midfield. Kurt Schultz saved a touchdown, and Dallas comes out running. 50 yards on the return.
Dick, you can't defense speed. And everywhere you look on this Dallas football team is speed. Steve Tasker missed Williams there. Would have been a great play, but again, another young man who just displays the speed. And here's Tasker. Watch him go by him. Bam. Miss. He didn't adjust for the speed of Kevin Williams.
Kevin Williams in his rookie season had 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year. So Troy Aikman and the Cowboys start on the Buffalo half of the field, just outside the 47. Fake to Smith. Aikman down the middle, wide open, Michael Irvin, and Irvin has a first down at the Buffalo 28. 20 yards to Irvin, number 88. He caught 88 passes during the season.
Dick, first snap of the game, the Buffalo defense went with the blitz single coverage. Nate Odoms is the man in coverage. This is a quick death. Buffalo cannot play the Dallas Cowboys this kind of defense with a free safety and single coverage.
First down at the 28. Tight end Novacek in motion. Aikman again to throw. Over the middle to Novacek inside the 25-yard line. A gain of about 5. Cornelius Biscuit Bennett on the stop.
There is no shortage of great athletes on this offense for Dallas. I mean, they can go exclusively to the tight end, almost exclusively to the fullback, give it to Emmett all day long, or throw it to the outside guys. This team is a defensive coordinator's nightmare.
And one of the reasons you're looking into the Dallas Blue Eyes of Troy Aikman. Led the league in passing percentage, over 69% complete. And here's Emmitt Smith. Oh, is he dumped by Bruce Smith, who zeroed in on the league's leading rusher, no gain.
Cornelius Bennett was also on the inside. He moved to the inside backer. This is 2-71 on Bruce Smith. Kind of falls down. Biscuit, 797. He switched spots with Marcus Patton. There he is on the inside linebacker. Great speed, a little bigger body. They put him on the inside for a little better pursuit, and it pays off.
2 Pro Bowlers, Cornelius Bennett from Alabama and Bruce Smith, Virginia Tech. No gain. Third and a short 6. Kevin Williams in motion.
Harper's uncovered.
Incomplete at the 19-yard line, intended for Kevin Williams. And so the Dallas Cowboys, after the long kickoff return by Williams, that's Mickey Washington, the relative of little Joe Washington, a star in this league for so many years, and on comes the field goal team.
Buffalo very fortunate here. This is going out to Williams, but Alvin Harper was wide open, uncovered. Troy Aikman went the normal progression.
41 yards on the attempt by Murray, picked up by the Cowboys before game 3 this year. Novacek holds. Dallas, it's long enough, and the Cowboys lead 3-0. Murray capitalizing on Williams' long kickoff return to open the game. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. The Cowboys settled for 3 on the 41-yard field goal by Eddie Murray. And Jim Kelly now anxiously awaits his turn in this drama. How important this is for Buffalo. The Bills, with 3 consecutive losses in the Super Bowl and a victory today, could certainly undo their disappointments as Murray drills one deep toward Russell Copeland, a rookie, only 21 from Memphis State. And he runs tenuously to the 20-yard line, where he's smothered by several Cowboys, led by Dave Thomas.
Dick, the Buffalo Bills just got the first break of the game. You're going to see motion. Watch what happens on Alvin Harper. When the safety rotates over here, he is totally uncovered. Troy Aikman, going with the primary receiver, overlooks Harper for an automatic touchdown. Those 3 points for the Dallas Cowboys should have been 7. And I think Aikman just said, hey, I'll get you next time.
Kelly starts from the 21. 3 wide receivers set in this K-gun, and Thurman Thomas struggling for a couple. So Thomas, 3 years ago against the Giants in Tampa, had the big game. Many felt he should have been the most valuable player, but in the last 2 Super Bowl games total, Thurman Thomas has just over 30 yards rushing. He's not been a factor in the last 2 losses. For Buffalo to challenge Dallas today, he must have a big game.
A huge game.
2nd and 9. Kelly out of the shotgun. Good protection, good coverage, and it's Reed. He's drilled by James Washington, but Reed holds on near a first down. 11 yards it is, a first down Buffalo.
Dick, great protection for Jim Kelly. He was looking all over the place. Andre Reed in the slot. Look how open he is and how long he sits there, and Washington hammers him to the turf for a first down.
Delay to Thurman Thomas, and he is smothered by that gang tackling Cowboy defense built on speed. He's out to the 37, 38-yard line.
If you look at the Dallas defense, they're running their 45. They're running 5 defensive backs and 1 linebacker. 28 Woodson plays the inside linebacker. There's Everett, the free safety. Kind of an odd defense, but it's worked well for Dallas.
On second down, into the flat to Thomas, and Thomas breaks open. 50, 45, and Everett gets him out of bounds at the Dallas 39. A 24-yard play for the Bills.
Will come right at you. This is the primary receiver. You see 28 Woodson coming on the blitz. Jim Kelly read it perfectly. A nice block by Don Beebe. Thurman Thomas down the sideline for, what did you say, 24 yards?
Right, and no huddle. Bills right back to the line of scrimmage. A give to Kenneth Davis. And Davis, who played in Texas, in fact has his business in Dallas, Texas. Owns a full-service auto shop, the Dozen Davis Automotive, and has some ex-Cowboys as clients. And boy, did they rub it in last year after the defeat out in Pasadena.
Kenneth Davis had a nice Super Bowl last year, replacing Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas getting a little rest there.
Again, the hurry-up offense for Kelly. Over the middle, incomplete. Oh, Don Beebe drilled by Thomas Everett, who then taunts him a bit out at the 25-yard line.
These safeties are sitting inside here in this Dallas defense. Brown on the coverage. Whoa, that is a hammer job. Lands right on his elbow. I'm surprised it didn't affect his shoulder. Beebe is a tough kid, but these Dallas defensive backs are probably collectively the quickest, and they're great hitters for their size.
Third down 7. Kelly to the sidelines, dropped by Bill Brooks, who had a first down at the 25, covered by Kevin Smith. Will they go for the long field goal? Yes, Steve Christie will try one. It'll be over 50.
Again, look at the quickness. Look at those Dallas cornerbacks. Brooks is a very sound receiver, runs great patterns, and that was great coverage again by a Dallas cornerback.
Christie in Buffalo this year with a big win behind his back, kicked 159. This one would be a Super Bowl record 54. On its way, and it is good. Christie, 54 yards. The old record was 48. Super Bowl 28 tied at 3. Steve Christie grew up in the Toronto area against Eddie Murray's 41-yard field goal. He's from Victoria, British Columbia, and Marv Levy's team has tied it at 3-all. And Christie's 54-yarder breaks the old Super Bowl record, 48 yards. Jan Stenerud and Rich Carlos kicked them from 48. Christie now to kick it off for the second time, and you can bet the Bills will have their eye on young Kevin Williams. This one kicked away from Williams toward Gant and into the end zone. Dallas will start at the 20. Enough concrete in this building. You could build a sidewalk from here all the way to your hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Now this has a canvas top too, doesn't it?
Teflon, I think.
You can see the lights through it. This is a beautiful facility, like a big living room.
Cowboys start 32 yards farther back than their opening drive as Aikman sets him at his 20. And Emmitt Smith gets a second chance, and they're there to surround him. A gain of only 2, and Bruce Smith, number 78, 5 times a Pro Bowler, and many feel the top defensive player in the NFL, made another stop.
Bruce Smith has several different gears. On 2 and a 71. Look at the arm strength, just pushing and shoving. A 305-yard offensive tackle, and again, Cornelius Bennett inside, playing that inside linebacker for a little more pursuit, a little bigger body than Maddox.
A gain of 2. Smith again. Weaving his way near a first down at the 30, just shy. It'll be third and less than a yard. Marv Patton making the stop for Buffalo.
Rick, if there's one play that you want to stop against the Dallas Cowboys, it's the lead draw. Darrell Johnston, 48, the personal interferer for Mr. Emmitt Smith. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys have a bunch of running plays, but Emmitt likes to tell his offensive lineman, look, just get movement. I'll find the hole.
Smith to rush for almost 1,500 yards this year to lead the league and have the best rushing average, 5.3 a carry. They just get it off, and it's the Moose, Daryl Johnston, plowing for a first down. But you saw the umpire throw a flag. And it's against the Cowboys for holding. Highway named for Jimmy Johnson
Holding.
now.
Number 63, offense. 10 yards, third down.
58-year-old Bob McElwee is our referee, his second Super Bowl. John Giesig guilty of the hold.
He's the center, and he's the third center the Dallas Cowboys have used this year. Started with Stepnoski, then Frank Cornish Jr., now Giesig, and he's got his hands on 91 Jeff Wright, 63 on the hold. So now that's a key penalty. Now third and just over 10.
Smith moves to the other side. Aikman falls down, but no one there to down him. And finally, it's Jeff Wright, 91, who gets him at the line of scrimmage, and the Cowboys will have to kick.
Dick, I could not see if anyone stepped on Troy Aikman's feet. Normally a very sure-footed quarterback. Let's see when he sets up. Yeah, somebody does step on his foot. Looked like the left guard, which would be, I believe, Newton when he stepped out. See what happens here. No, it's the center, Giesig. So the holding penalty on Giesig, and then Giesig tangles feet with Troy Aikman.
But part of that was the push by the Buffalo line. Oh, Tasker in on John Jett, the punter. A high kick and a fair catch. Russell Copeland at the Buffalo 42-yard line. Steve Tasker, who blocked a punt in last year's Super Bowl, very close.
This should have been holding. You watch when he goes around here, you see Woodson grab a hold of his right shoulder. That should have been holding on Woodson.
Little piece of face mask as well, and Tasker argues. A rough series for John Giesig playing center because this man, Mark Stepnoski, a Pro Bowler again this year, knee surgery, unable to play today. Kelly from the 41. Ooh, a little shovel pass to Thomas, and he fumbles the ball. And a flag is down. It would appear Dallas has it.
Did he?
Unless they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
I'm not sure yet. I have not seen any signal whatsoever. The ball was thrown behind Thurman Thomas. He never had it cleanly.
It's a fumble, or they wouldn't be digging this way.
Bob McElwee is down there in the pile looking for who has it. You're right.
The first turnover goes to Dallas. And remember, Buffalo, guilty of 9 mistakes last year, their demise. It'll be interesting to see how they react to this one as Thurman Thomas. That had a danger written all over it from the start.
Throws it behind him as he's spinning. Yeah, he does have control of it. Washington 37 is the man with the contact. Woodson 28 with the recovery. And Ken Norton, yes. Dallas ball. Thurman coughed it up, but that was not a clean play. When Kelly threw it behind him, really slowed down the momentum of Thurman Thomas, and then Washington comes up with the hit.
And the Cowboys have it at the 50-yard line. Buffalo in their 14 wins this year, a +19 in the takeaway giveaway. They were a -5 in their 4 losses. And let's see what happens with the first turnover in Super Bowl 28. Smith. Little wiggle, gets about 3 to the 47-yard line. Marcus Patton and others in on the stop. In a Super Bowl, Buffalo setting a record last year in Pasadena with their 9. And Baltimore, surprisingly, in Super Bowl 5, the winner despite 7 turnovers.
Those are all AFC teams. You wonder why they haven't won in a long time? That's pretty obvious.
Smith now 4 carries, 12 yards. And the throw underneath to Smith, and he has a first down at the 39-yard line. Patton again with a tackle. Emmett, who not only led the league in rushing, but caught 57 passes as well this past year.
And he comes out of the backfield too. I mean, he doesn't sit out on the corner. Good protection for Troy Aikman. Emmitt Smith is a gifted receiver, not a particularly big target, but is able to find dead spots in zones, and then, of course, once he catches it, he can turn a 2-yard completion into an 80-yard gain on almost any play.
6:40 remaining in the opening quarter. Tied at 3. Dallas trying to convert a fumble at midfield. Fake to Smith. Aikman guns wide open as Harper, and he's caught from behind and tackled at the 15. Darryl Talley and Mark Kelso, and the Cowboys challenge.
Nice deep in route by Harper. Good protection for Troy Aikman, which is key. The play action fake holds the linebackers at the line of scrimmage. That creates the gap between the linebackers and the safety, and Harper has an easy completion. Again, you'll see Talley allows him on the outside. He just circles around, and there's no linebacker coverage underneath. It was held by the play action fake.
Alvin Harper, a 7-foot 4-inch high jumper, so you throw the ball up over the shorter backs, and he has an advantage. Here's Kevin Williams on a reverse. He's got 5. He's got 6 inside the 10-yard line before Mickey Washington can make the stop. It's a play that Jimmy Johnson likes to run at least once a game. Williams on that reverse.
Dick, I think you mentioned it correctly. That first turnover by Buffalo, an absolute key point in this football game. How the Buffalo Bills handle it. I'm not interested in how Dallas handles it. I want to know how Buffalo handles it.
It strings back to
quickly
the thrashing they took in the last Super Bowl game because of their mistakes. Novacek, the tight end, the motion. Aikman into the flat to Emmitt Smith. And knocked out of bounds, a yard loss on the play. Marcus Patton, whose mother played professional tackle football in Los Angeles, made the stop.
Watch where Patton is lined up. He is on the outside again now. You can see him in Cornelius Bennett's spot. A good job here. He fights off, holds up Novacek a little bit. An excellent speed out to stop Emmitt Smith for no gain.
Patton's mother played for the L.A. Dandelions. His father, L.A. police officer, killed in a drug bust when he was a young boy, and his mother raising him and teaching him football. And here today to cheer. 3rd and 5. Smith stopped at the 7, and the Bills have done a good job of defensing Emmitt Smith here in the opening quarter. It was Darryl Talley and Mike Lodishin on the stop. 15 yards for Emmitt Smith on 5 carries in the quarter.
Dallas kind of spreads the defense out here with a couple of different receivers, and Buffalo didn't buy it.
Anytime there's a kicking situation, one should remind all viewers and all fans that Jimmy Johnson loves the fakes. This one would be a 24-yarder. Murray blasts it through. Dallas 6, Buffalo 3. Thurman Thomas's fumble, not a touchdown. It's his fault. He seems happy it resulted in only a 3 for the Cowboys. Night has fallen in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, north central Georgia, Atlanta, the megalopolis of the South. And inside the Georgia Dome, a 6-3 Dallas lead. And the Cowboys with 3:55 will kick it off. Copeland and BB are deep. 85 Copeland and 82 the sprinter BB. This one a liner toward Copeland at the corner, and does it go into the end zone? Yes. Copeland took a chance hoping it would kick out of bounds, and Buffalo would get the 35. They get the 20. Jim Kelly ready to go back to work.
Copeland takes a chance here, but lets it bounce, and the official is right there to say yes, it is a touchback. Went down in the end zone. Buffalo takes the field again. Dick, a plus there. That turnover, I didn't see any real shakiness there in the Buffalo defense, so they handled that first turnover very well.
Both quarterbacks effective at the start. Thurman Thomas into a pile and gets only a yard. Good defense is Tony Casillas, who played for the Atlanta Falcons here before a trade to Dallas. Into the thick of that play.
And Dick, when you watch this Dallas defense on film, the front four, they get off blocks quicker than any defensive line I have ever seen in the NFL.
2nd and 9. Kelly to the side to Brooks. That'll be good for only 4 or 5 as they push him back. Good charge from Kevin Smith on the left corner. Smith is only 23, and regarded as one of the top young cornerbacks in the league. Kelly wearing a wristband the last 3-4 games for Buffalo. You see it on that left wrist.
He makes a list of plays he likes, tells the coaches, and they make the wristband for him. Unheard of in the NFL. Normally the coaches tell the player what plays.
On third down, and it's the tight end Metzelars with a first down catch at the 34. Metzelars, who played at Little Wabash College, he was a great basketball player, led the Bills with 68 catches this year.
And I think that's key to Buffalo's success this year. They're being very patient, throwing underneath, taking some pressure off of the passing game. Fewer interceptions for Jim Kelly.
No huddle. There's the give to Thomas. Trying to get outside. Larry Brown got a piece of him, and then he's covered by number 58, Dixon Edwards. Edwards, one of the many fine linebackers out of Michigan State.
Dick, it's tough to get a comment in here. The Buffalo Bills offense definitely in an up speed in their hurry up, trying to wear down this Dallas defense as best they can.
Second down and 6. Kelly protected well. Watch out here in the corner. Andre Reed is. James Washington came up. There's one of those moments where Washington was hesitant, saying, if I really go for it, maybe I've got a touchdown on the interception. And then thought, no, I better not risk it. It could be 6 the other way.
Of course, Reed last year in the Super Bowl, 8 catches, 152 yards. Didn't look like there's Charles Haley. Let's see how he's pass rushing. Actually, he looks like he's got power in his legs, but John Fina just parked and pancaked him on that pass protection.
Fina, the left tackle from Arizona, replacing Will Wolford, who went with his Pro Bowl credentials to Indianapolis this year. Kelly over the middle. Brooks drops another. So Bill Brooks has dropped 2 in this first quarter, and that denies the first down at the Dallas 45. Larry Brown, the cover for Dallas.
This is Bill Brooks' first Super Bowl. He lets this ball get to his body. See, when it gets to his body, then you don't have any control over it. It bounced right off the shoulder pads, and Jim Kelly saying, man, that should have been a first down. Come on, Bill Brooks.
Kevin Williams drifts back to the 15 as Chris Moore, Georgia born, Thompson, Georgia, his hometown, same as Ray Guy. High, a wobbler, and a flag is down as the ball bounces out of bounds inside the Dallas 25 at the 22, and we may have roughing the kicker.
Dick, I think it's the 5-yard penalty, which doesn't guarantee the first down, but it's 4th and 4 or 3, so they're going to get a first down.
Running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Dave Thomas, 41, the rookie from Tennessee, and Elvis Patterson, the veteran from Kansas, were there.
Patterson, 43 on the outside. You see 2 of them break through. Yeah, and 41 Thomas rolls right up to the kicker's leg, and Jimmy starts every practice with special teams. When there is a special team mistake, that's a mistake out of the ordinary for the Jimmy Johnson Dallas Cowboys.
Patterson, the ex-Raider, acquired in a trade at midseason. First down at the 46 on the penalty, and Thomas straight ahead, but only for a yard or 2. Tony Tolbert, 92, and Leon Lett, 78, in on the stop. Lett with perhaps the most memorable play, or forgettable for him, in last year's Super Bowl.
From behind the offense, these are important yards for Buffalo. If they're going to make any real threat as a ground game today, they've got to run the ball between the tackles.
Kelly to Beebe, his first catch, and it'll be a first down at the Dallas 43. Beebe, the man who caught Leon Lett from behind in the second half last year.
Brown again in coverage. This is just a down and stop, like an 8 or 9 yard hitch. Maybe make sure of that reception, and again right back to the line of scrimmage.
Finished his work at Chadron State, also played at Western Illinois. Kelly changing his play, and the left tackle Fina lifts off to here. And Thomas has to eat it as coming through is veteran Jim Jeffcoat from Arizona State. In his 11th year with the Cowboys, one of the few that go back to the Landry days.
You can't run the counter against this defensive line. They're too quick. They'll catch it from behind. They pursue too well. You got to throw that play out if you're the Buffalo Bills. Last week it worked against the Kansas City Chiefs. It won't work today.
4-yard loss on the play. Kelly down the middle has Andre Reed at the 34, just shy of a first down. James Washington makes another hit, and that is the end of the first quarter. Super Bowl 28, Dallas leading Buffalo. We're ready for the second quarter. Andre Reed, the star receiver of the Buffalo Bills, that 13-yard reception, a painful one, and they're attending to him. Here's how it happened. Watch James Washington, 37. And it looks like he might have rammed his knee into the thigh of Reed.
I watch his right leg. See, it kind of pops when it hit. When he hits, is hit by Washington. I can't really tell what the injury is, but he limped to the sideline, being attended to by the physicians and trainers. It's his right leg, right knee, right thigh.
Russell Copeland has replaced Reed on a 3rd and long one for Buffalo at the Dallas 33 as we open the second quarter. A game of field goals thus far. Eddie Murray of the Cowboys with a 41 and 24-yard field goal, and Steve Christie of Buffalo with a Super Bowl record 54-yard kick. 11th play of this drive for James Edward Kelly. Kenneth Davis breaks a tackle and fights close to the 32-yard line. And if he's to the 32, it's a first down.
So lucky. Ken Norton almost had this play in the backfield. Now, the Dallas Cowboys don't blitz a lot, but watch Norton. He gets through there in a hurry. Oh, I got the wrong linebacker. 51, Ken Norton on the other side. Ken Norton doesn't miss many tackles, but he has that bicep problem, and it may have kept him from extending his right arm. He has a big cast on his right arm. Couldn't make the tackle.
Son of the former heavyweight champion of the world. There he is with the White Sox baseball hat. Ken Norton Sr. beat Ali for the title, and many thought that in the rematch he should have won. Lost the decision to Muhammad Ali, and then Ali won the third as well. It is a first down.
First time he's seen his son play live this year. He's watched the rest of them on TV.
Sadly here, not by invitation by his son. They still have a family feud. So first down at the 32. Buffalo first down, 7 running, 1 passing so far. Kelly to the sidelines, and it's Beebe at the 25. Kevin Smith at the corner from Texas A&M, the #1 pick of the Cowboys a year ago, makes the stop.
Well, Buffalo's throwing the ball with pretty good regularity here. Jim Kelly has got time to throw it, finding receivers. They're the short little receptions, not taking too much of a chance, not going for the deep stuff, but going for the high percentage stuff.
And no huddle on 2nd and 3. It's Kenneth Davis, and he's inside the 20 and skips to the 17. Ken Norton gets into the turf. First down, Buffalo.
They run right at Charles Haley here, Dick. At Spina 70. Haley kind of runs around the block a little bit, and Kenneth Davis, who is faster and quicker than Thurman Thomas, up through the hole. Nice pickup.
He rushed for nearly 400 yards in the season, and Thurman Thomas stumbling to about the 12-yard line. It was Russell Maryland on his way to his first Pro Bowl, down low to trip him up for Dallas. Number 67, Maryland. He symbolizes this Dallas defense. Jimmy Johnson has built the defense on speed, the offense on a huge offensive line. But they out-quick you on defense. Thomas. Down low underneath was Tony Casillas to stop him shy of the 10-yard line, where it'll be a third down and about 3.
Again, a great job of getting off blocks by the defensive line of the Dallas Cowboys. They are so hard to keep engaged on a block so that the running back can find a spot.
Cowboys send in 4 changes. No one in the backfield with Kelly. Throws to Beebe. First down at the 5. Larry Brown with a stop.
And every time the Dallas Cowboy defensive back makes the tackle, watch Brown try to strip the ball away. See him try to pull the ball away. They are trying to come up with turnovers any way they can.
They give progress to the 4. First and goal for Buffalo, trailing 6-3 early in the second quarter. It's Thomas. Thomas, touchdown!
That was a beautiful drive.
80 yards, 17 plays, nearly 7.5 minutes. Thurman Thomas with a capper, a 4-yard run.
Certainly a little help from Dave Thomas, who ran into the punter, but they took advantage of the mistake.
Christie's extra point is good, and Buffalo leads for the first time, 10-6.
Thurman Thomas goes back out on the field to congratulate the offensive lineman. Watch this first move by Thurman. Lett is right there. 78's got him square in his sights. Thurman just snaps to the outside, and Jim Kelly.
And that drive should not have continued, but Dave Thomas, 41, the rookie from Tennessee, running into the kicker. That 5-yard penalty kept it alive, and Buffalo celebrates with a lead. Earlier, you saw the Buffalo Thomas, Thurman after the fumble, agonizing on the sidelines. Now it's Dave Thomas running into the punter that allowed the Bills to keep that 80-yard drive alive. And now the kick down to Kenneth Gant. And Kevin Williams trying to take it away from him. Gant hit at the 15, and he's out to the 23-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown. What a run by Thomas, and what a block in front of him.
No question about it. They ran the full block. They're trying to get as much between the tackles as they possibly can. This is perfectly executed, but a big assist by Thurman Thomas. I mean, that move is not coachable. It is not teachable. You're either born with it. Simpson had that move. Very few other people have ever played with it.
Well, the man who was at Oklahoma State with Thurman Thomas has it, Barry Sanders. What a drive by Buffalo. They're known for their short drives, not a 7.5-minute effort. Aikman comes out throwing, and down the middle he goes to Irvin, and he's got it at the 40. And Henry Jones tackles him at the 38. 15-yard play.
The deep in route, excellent. Again, the good play action fake holds the linebackers. The safety Kelso drops so deep that Mickey Washington, 25, has no help on the inside. And Irvin makes the tackle, makes the catch, and Jones makes the tackle. This is not a particularly good pattern, but with his speed and with the defense, it's open and open wide.
Aikman now has only missed on 1 of his 7 pass attempts. Emmitt Smith with a big hole, and he's into Buffalo territory at the 49. First down, 13 yards on Emmitt Smith's top run of this Super Bowl.
Again, I always marvel at watching Emmitt Smith. He only carries it in the left arm, and there's never really a spot for him to run. He just preaches movement. He cuts back and cuts back well. And one of the keys when you're running a cutback runner, you need a cutoff block. And Jay Novacek got Dale Talley out of there. Big pickup, Emmett.
First down at the Bills' 49. Smith again. This time he's caught at the line of scrimmage. He twists for maybe a yard. Mark Maddox, who played his college ball at Northern Michigan, makes the stop. Suddenly this crowd here at the Georgia Dome all sitting back and taking a deep breath with this K-gun offense of Buffalo. Such a rapid fire, tough to really do that relax. And now it's Dallas huddling. Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator. He played in Super Bowl I with the Kansas City Chiefs. He was a linebacker. He has something like 3,500 years of swizzle sticks supply. Someone sent him 10,000. He uses one every 2 weeks. Flag down as Aikman scrambles and is hit by Cornelius Bennett at the 44-yard line. And one was curious as to how Aikman would take that first solid hit after the concussion a week ago against San Francisco, and it'll be called back if Buffalo chooses on illegal motion. Bernie Kosar, so many years the star quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, fell out of favor as the backup for Dallas.
Troy told us on Wednesday, I was shocked to hear him say that after practice on Wednesday, the first practice since the concussion.
Illegal motion, number 22, offense. The penalty is declined, 3rd down.
Anyway, the first practice after the concussion, he said to us that he had a severe headache, was having trouble sleeping, and I said, well, did you tell the trainer? And he said, no, I'm not telling anybody.
They decline the penalty. 3rd down and 5. Aikman down the middle, almost intercepted. Henry Jones was zeroing in on that one. Jones, who led led Buffalo last year with 8 interceptions. He had 2 this year, and the Bills' defense is held.
And Dick, this should have been an interception. You are absolutely correct. Watch Jones. He bounces off the receiver. But Jones last year had 9 interceptions. He has good hands. He should have caught that one.
John Jett, his second punt. Copeland stands at the 10-yard line. Very high. Copeland, fair catch, but lets it go, and the Cowboys have that one surrounded, and it's down at the 1. Matt Vanderbeek, number 91, a 43-yard punt for Jett. Buffalo begins at the 1. Coaches will forgive, be patient with physical mistakes, but not mental mistakes. There was 1 on that punt. The throw is to Reed, breaks a tackle, nice move up the sidelines, and a first down at the 20-yard line, a 19-yard play. But that gets Kelly and the Bills out of deep trouble caused by Copeland's judgment.
This square out run by Andre Reed against man-to-man coverage. Again, excellent protection. And it really bails out Russell Copeland, who that ball bounced at the 14-yard line.
Thurman Thomas for 3, maybe 4. Into the grasp of Jimmy Jones. Jones, who had a touchdown in last year's Super Bowl. And there's Charles Haley. It was a very painful back, a bulging disc, and said, I want to play anyway. He'll have an operation right after this game.
Practiced very little this week, just on Friday.
Kelly comes over the middle, complete at the 31-yard line. James Washington with a hit on Bill Brooks, and that'll be a first down at the 31.
Dick, to this point, there's been very little pressure on Jim Kelly. Keith McKellar is in the lineup at tight end. Pete Metzelaars is out on the sideline being attended to by the doctors, but Charles Haley is the big pass rusher. He's not really gotten in Jim Kelly's face much yet.
Another first down. Buffalo leading 10-6, and open is McKellar, and he's out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Washington again with a push, and that's a pickup of 7 on first down.
Again, now Charles Haley. This time he's over on House Ballard, and you can see that Charles Haley does not have the normal strength. Charles Haley, a very, very strong pass rusher. He just doesn't seem to have his legs underneath him.
McKellar with the catch. Metzelaar's shoulder injury should return. Thurman Thomas straight ahead across the 41. It'll be close. Darren Smith, a rookie second-round pick out of Miami of Florida, made the stop. Well, Jim Kelly off to a great start. 13 for 16. 127 yards, and he has not thrown an interception in the last 14 quarters plus this one. He is through the playoffs, played as well as any time all season.
Yeah, and during the season, 18 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Metzelaar is going up to be attended to. But Kelly is the key. He is in total control of this offense. I think there's some coaches who are afraid to change the offense. Some of the coaches in Buffalo are afraid to change the offense because Kelly's been with it so long, so they stay with the same things. First down, Buffalo.
Well, Thurman Thomas with a generous spot and a first down at the 42-yard line. Remember, this started at the 1-yard line when Copeland, ill-advised, let a punt bounce at the 15, didn't fair catch it, and Dallas downed it at the 1. So far, that's not been a penalty to Kelly and Buffalo, leading 10-6 with 7:45 left in the half. Kelly to the sidelines to Reed. Tackled immediately at the 48-yard line by Kevin Smith. Good pickup on first down. Kelly's very patient in his attack.
He's also had great protection. Watch 28 Woodson come. Picked up by Thurman Thomas. Again, the short patterns, the high percentage. I think finally Buffalo has caught on. And if they don't turn the ball over in games where there's a Roman numeral, you got a good chance to win.
Kelly, without that huddle, he is definitely the man in charge calling the plays. There's that shovel pass to Thomas that he fumbled on earlier. He hangs on to this one and has a first down at the Dallas 47. Russell Maryland the tackle.
But it still doesn't look clean. Watch how late Thurman Thomas gets this ball. Just to the point where he's going to turn upfield. You see, Darren Smith is almost there at the same time that he catches it. It's a new play in their arsenal, and they're not running it well, but they are occupying the clock.
7.5 minutes for their last drive. That keeps Emmitt Smith, as you saw, on the sideline. Kelly goes deep for Beebe. A step too long at the goal line. Well, that's the first big play that Kelly's gone for.
And that is a message pass. You can't shorten up the zones. You can't pack it in. We will go deep. Beebe, probably the fastest member of the Buffalo Bills. All just thrown a little too far. But that's to tell Dallas we will throw it down there, and we can.
Beebe said he received hundreds of pieces of mail after last year's Super Bowl when he made that gallant run from behind to catch Leon Lett to show you just don't give up. Oh, through the hands of Andre Reed, incomplete. Reed with 5 catches so far in this first half and 52 yards, unable to snare that one.
That would have needed a net on that one. That was thrown high and very hard.
He's been productive in every Super Bowl, even in defeat last year with his 8 catches, 152 yards. And now 3rd down 10 for Kelly. Let's see if Dallas comes with a linebacker. Nope. Kelly throws. Intercept. No, and drop. Kevin Smith had the pick. He led Dallas with 6 interceptions this year, and it looked as if that was his all the way.
Boy, Buffalo very lucky there. There were 7 defensive backs in the ball game, but watch who else drops here. A defensive end drops. So there's 8 guys dropping in coverage. Kelly still tries to force it in there, and that's the one thing that to this point in the game he's not done. That's the first time he really tried to force one.
So Chris Moore into punt. This will be his first official punt. Running into him on that long scoring drive. Oh, he hits this one up into the 4th deck.
Where's Tasker?
Kevin Wales lets it go, and it's down at the 1-yard line by Tasker. No one does it better than Steve Tasker. Oh my. Turnabout, fair play. Dallas from their one. The guy 5'9", 135 pounds out of Leota, Kansas when he left high school, and here he is playing in another Super Bowl. Emmitt Smith at the 4, a pickup of 3. Phil Hansen and Cornelius Bennett on the tackle. Choir boy looks, but he is tough.
Again, now looking from behind the offense. See, great job by the lead blocker Johnston on Patton, but Patton stands him up. You know, the one thing about Daryl Johnston, you never see him cut anybody. He always hits him shoulder pad to shoulder pad. I guess he thinks that's kind of a sissy way to do it. Cut people. He wants jaw on jaw.
2nd and 7. Aikman, the quickie to Michael Irvin, and a first down across the 15. Mickey Washington drags him down.
You can't. You're not going to stop this kid. You're just not going to stop him. You can slow him down. Look at the move. Look at the strength. Aikman has great confidence in Michael Irvin. Puts it between the 8s.
Michael Irvin from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 15th out of a family of 17. They're all here. He says they're wearing out room service. The carpets are worn. They don't even leave the room. They just $900 one day we talked to them. Aikman on first down, play action, steps in front of Smith and throws down the middle, incomplete. And Kelso playing that deep center field, almost 50 yards from the line of scrimmage when that ball skidded by him.
One of the things that you always like about Troy Aikman is his presence in the pocket. That quick drop. He also just steps up, avoids Bruce Smith from one side, Cornelius Bennett from the other. Still able to make the attempt down the field, but this hasn't been a smooth start for the Dallas Cowboys. They've struggled a great deal running the ball, and they found receivers open, but they haven't really gotten the ball deep. Jimmy Johnson looks very concerned.
Play action on second down, and then they throw to Daryl Johnston, and the Moose, diving for first down yardage, is out to the 27-yard line. Darryl Talley made the tackle. Johnston, who was the pick after Troy Aikman in 1989. They went for Aikman in the first round, then Johnston, Syracuse in the second.
He releases through the line of scrimmage, then behind the line of scrimmage. They haven't even used Daryl yet. This is the first time we've really seen him do anything. He's a guy who all he does is run into people, and he says, they send me to the Pro Bowl, the only fullback to go. Okay, I'll keep running into him.
Johnston had 50 catches during the regular season. First down. Cornelius Bennett trailing the play, using his speed. Hits him across the 30 at the 32.
Bennett plays defensive end normally, but when he recognizes what's going on, excellent speed, jumps inside the block of Daryl Johnston, one of the rare misses you see the Moose come up with. Bennett's had a good first half, playing that inside backer in obvious run situations, and now he's on the outside.
Nevertheless, 4 yards for Emmitt Smith, who now has 37 yards rushing in this first half. 3.5 to go before the intermission. Buffalo leading 10-6. Bruce Smith gets a piece, but Aikman still delivers the ball out to the 35, and the catch made.
Irvin caught it, and Bennett was right on him. Here's Bruce Smith first, again on 2-A. Look at the arm strength, the hand strength. They try to double him with a little help from Emmitt Smith. Aikman gets it off, but watch Irvin release underneath. Watch Bennett. Ball is completed. Wham! Bennett right there to make the tackle. Hey, Buffalo has played a fine defensive half here so far. Good pressure, decent coverage.
Look at the face mask of Cornelius Bennett. 3rd and 2.5. And Aikman's going to throw for him. Sidesteps the pressure, throws to the tight end. First down, Novacek at the 40.
Man, that was a fist fight. Henry Jones and Jay Novacek. It looked like a high school wrestling match. They were throwing bodies all over the place. See Jones left-hand side of the screen. When Aikman starts to go back inside, there's a little pirouette underneath Jones. Aikman again, great confidence in Novacek. So many weapons on this Dallas offense. Now watch Jones. Boy, that's working hard for about a 5-yard reception.
Well, Novacek, who is a real cowboy, competes in cutting competition out of Gothenburg, Nebraska. He threw off that defense like a Bronco. Aikman to Smith, looking for a hole, and squirts out to the 44-yard line, and that'll take it to the 2-minute warning. In fact, 1:58 left in the half. Dallas with a ball, trailing by 4. Welcome back to Atlanta. Second down at the Cowboy 44-yard line. 2nd and 6 as Troy Aikman back to throw. Over the middle to the tight end Novacek. And he breaks a tackle, gets a couple more yards. Mickey Washington with a stop at the 48, first down.
This time Dallas comes with 2 tight ends. They had Scott Galbraith in there along with Jay Novacek. Novacek releases underneath. And the tackle missed by Mark Maddox. And then made by Mickey Washington. Again, so many ways for this offense to adjust.
Aikman now 11 for 14. 12 for 15, and Emmitt Smith to the sideline stops the clock as he's got another first down for Dallas at the 32. 10 on the play.
Dick, this series now they've gone with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and Emmitt Smith. So everybody releases deep. Emmitt comes underneath, and you see his value as a pass receiver. Picks up the yards, gets out of bounds. I think when you look at this offense, this Dallas offense, you can never just draw up a defense and stay in it, because Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, Troy Aikman, the quarterback, they know how to figure a defense out, and quickly.
Cowboys trying to reclaim the lead before halftime, trailing by 4. Here comes Smith, and he can't get to Aikman, and intercepted. Nate Odoms, who tied for the league in the NFL, is on the loose at the 45, the 50, and he's to the 48. Odoms, who had 9 in the regular season, with a big pick for Buffalo.
We saw the interception. We wondered why it was thrown short. Watch Bruce Smith around 2-A. The left arm just hits Aikman's shoulder. Bad things happen when that guy is hot. Bad things.
Draw by Kelly with just under a minute to go now, and Aikman watching that clock, and Buffalo with its 3 timeouts does not spend one at this point. 50 seconds left. It was last year's Super Bowl just before halftime that Thurman Thomas fumbled, and Dallas struck for a score to lead 28-10 at halftime. Now Buffalo trying to pay back, and it's Thomas breaking tackles inside the 35, and timeout Kelly and Buffalo. 13 yards on the play.
Excellent job again by Jim Kelly. He knows how many timeouts he's got. He doesn't have to force the thing down the field. And Thurman Thomas just out of the backfield to the left. Kelly scanning the field, goes with the underneath stuff, and then I think this speaks volumes about Thurman Thomas today. He's accused by a lot of people of being moody. He is ready to go for the rest of this Super Bowl. You know, we're looking in the Bills huddle. The Dallas Cowboys only lost 4 games this year, and one of them was here in Atlanta. They got really embarrassed by the Atlanta Falcons. And not a good place for memories for Troy Aikman and his teammates.
Meanwhile, Kelly with a first down for Buffalo inside the 35, leading 10-6. Wide open is Reed, and Andre Reed does not go out of bounds. Tackled at the 12. So the clock runs, and Kelly has to spend another timeout. Reed very easily could have jumped out of bounds.
Dick, there is certainly a rule for football players inside 2 minutes when you're driving down the field. You do not fight for inches. You try to save seconds. And Andre Reed tries to turn this into more of a play than it really is. That extra yard means nothing. You want to save as many seconds as you can. Zone coverage by Dallas. Well read, well executed, but you got to get out of bounds.
That forces Buffalo to use the timeout. They have 1 remaining, 27 seconds, obviously in field goal range. And Kelly has had a remarkable first half. 17 for 23 and 173 yards. He's now thrown 126 passes through these playoffs without an interception.
He needs points here. Jimmy Johnson, I think when he told us during the week, we don't have a royal flush this year, we have a small straight. I think he knew exactly what he was talking about.
Kelly changing the play with 6 on the play clock, 4 on the play clock. Throws to Thomas, and Thomas gets out of bounds. A tough catch, backpedaling. Almost had to use one hand to grab it. Darren Woodson gets him out of bounds, stops the clock, 23 seconds.
I think it was a one-handed reception. But again, when you have to take that timeout, you got to look to the outside. When Thurman Thomas does get it out of bounds, you need that sideline now as your friend if you're Buffalo. Andre Reed, not a smart play.
3 yards on the play. Second down at the 9. Kelly throws incomplete through McKellar's hands, but you can't fault Kelly. He was going down on his knees as he threw the ball.
Dick, didn't he do that in last year's Super Bowl, and didn't it end up in an interception? I mean, Jim Kelly is pressured here at some point. It's 97 Jones who gets partial pressure on him through the hands of McKellar, but Kelly taking a big chance there with throwing that ball towards the goal line.
Well, 3rd down and 7 from the 9. It's to Thomas, and all the Cowboys waiting for that play, and now they'll let it tick down to 3 or 2 seconds and bring in Steve Christie.
That's the shovel pass again. It's the 3rd time they've run it. It's not looked good in any one of the 3 attempts, and it's an odd place to call a shovel pass.
With 2 seconds left, Buffalo spending its last timeout, and Christie in to try to give the Bills a touchdown lead at the break. Christie, who set a Super Bowl record with his 54-yarder in the first quarter. Christie, who played for Tampa and was a Plan B surprise. The Buccaneers thought they had him well satisfied, but Buffalo made the move, and he replaced Scott Norwood. And Norwood will forever live in infamy after that miss against the Giants from 47 wide right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in Buffalo will ever forgive him for that. Ever.
Meanwhile, Christie cool as ice, and that's where he spent a lot of his time playing soccer and hockey. In fact, Darryl Sittler of the Maple Leafs and Warren Moon as a CFL quarterback in Edmonton were his idols. A 28-yard attempt. So the Canadian kickers have been perfect. The end of the half, and a mild surprise at the intermission. The underdog Bills leading the defending champion Dallas Cowboys 13-6. ready for the second half at the Georgia Dome. And remember, the Buffalo Bills will get the ball first to open the second half. They lead 13-6 by a touchdown, a couple of field goals aside. The 2 turnovers both led to a field goal. And for Buffalo, they have to be pleased with what seems to be a very patient game plan.
Yeah, here's the numbers to support that, Dick. The guys at halftime we're talking about, especially Joe Gibbs, from 0 to 9 yards. Jim Kelly is 12 for 12 for 74 yards. They've been very patient, but they've been in this spot before. Last year, they led the Super Bowl, or at least they won the first quarter of the Super Bowl. Now they've won the half, and we also have the last time that they led in the Super Bowl, and it's when they played against the New York Giants.
And they led because of this score by Smith, and then Bruce Smith with a safety on Hostetler that was almost a touchdown, and that gave them a 12-10 lead. They trailed Washington significantly in the first half 2 years ago, and they trailed by 18 at halftime last year. So for the Buffalo Bills and Marv Levy, they're working from a positive platform in the second half.
And to add what Joe Gibbs said in the halftime remarks, I think the second half of this football game for Buffalo and for Dallas is both efforts. Dallas certainly has the weapons to get back in this football game. They have not performed well at all. But in the case of the Buffalo Bills, they have the opportunity now. Can they take advantage of it?
So Eddie Murray will kick it off. Jimmy Johnson's team held without a touchdown only twice all season long, and they did lose both those games. It comes down to Copeland. Copeland at the 25 to the 27. Johnson's Cowboys trailed at halftime to Atlanta without a touchdown and lost, and they trailed to these Buffalo Bills at halftime in Dallas early in the season, game 2, and were beaten in that one. Here are the first half official statistics. Total yards, Buffalo with a slight edge, and we might also throw in an individual statistic in total yards passing and running, pass receiving and running. Thurman Thomas had 20 more yards than Emmitt Smith, 78 to 58, and an injured Cowboys Kevin Smith, and that could be a very serious blow to Dallas's secondary. He is regarded, although the youngest man back there at 23, as their best cover man. So while we have a moment, Bob Trumpy, you talked before the game about how to defense Dallas, that to take the outside and the deep stuff away, make them play in the center of the field. That's what's happened.
Absolutely. And Buffalo's defense has slowed Dallas down. They have gotten some positive yardage from Emmitt Smith. They've gotten some positive yardage from Michael Irvin on the in routes. But you're right, they've not allowed the big knockout blow. Cornelius Bennett led the Buffalo Bills in tackles in the first half. That move of him into inside linebacker has put him more involved in both the run game and also the pass protection game.
You might also add that you Buffalo fans know you didn't see that shovel pass much all season long. That's something put in for this game, although it seems to have kind of worn out its welcome.
Yes.
But it was effective a couple of times.
But I think we know why they didn't have it in for the regular season. It looks pretty ragged.
Kevin Smith looks to be not seriously injured. He's replaced by Dave Thomas at that left corner. Let's see if Jim Kelly goes after him. It'll be a first down at the Bills 28.
Look at the numbers in the first half, and I think the one thing we now have to worry about if you're a Dallas fan is how much of this hurry-up offense wore down the Dallas defense, because there was that one very long drive for Buffalo. And this hurry-up offense, it doesn't scare opponents anymore, but it will wear them out.
Well, Kelly comes out with his 3 wide receiver set and gives to Thurman Thomas, and Thomas straight ahead to the 34-yard line. A good pickup on first down. Casillas and others on the tackle.
When you lead, as Buffalo does, you can go to your hammer. And in the last couple of 3 weeks, there's been a resurgence in the running game of Buffalo, and it is Thurman Thomas.
Good news for Dallas. Kevin Smith is back in the game. They throw to this side to Brooks. Brooks breaks the tackle and has a first down at the 43-yard line. James Washington with a stop. Kevin Smith unable to bring down Brooks on the initial hit.
Well, this answers our question. This is certainly conservative. Just a hitch pattern run by Brooks. Smith tried to close as quickly as he could, but Washington has to assist on the tackle.
Well, Kelly continues to throw underneath. Thomas hit as he takes a handoff, fumbles the ball, and here comes the Cowboys. It's Thomas Everett with one man to beat Tina, and now he's on his way. Don Beebe, the lone Bills, touchdown, Dallas.
1
flag is down at the 9-yard line. Hold on, let's see if this will negate the touchdown. 46 yards on the return of the fumble, and Leon Lett, making amends, was the man who ripped the ball loose from Thurman Thomas. And now Bob McElwee with the official announcement.
Personal foul, number 51, on the intercepting team after the score. The touchdown is good. The 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
Leon Lett is the one who stripped the ball away, Dick. He got his arm in there. The second fumble now for Thurman Thomas on the afternoon. And the big cat gets his arm in there and strips it away from Thurman Thomas.
So the Cowboys, with less than a minute gone in the second half, are positioned for the point that would tie it up. A new game at 13. And Leon Lett knocks it loose from Thurman Thomas for the fumble return. A flag is down. When we come back, it'll be Dallas kicking 15 yards back, so they'll be kicking off from the 20-yard line. Now let's see about this penalty.
Holding on the offense, so they're going to have to kick the extra point again.
Holding on the left wing back of the try team. 10-yard penalty. Retry the point.
So a little tougher test for Eddie Murray. Still 13-12. Lett forces the fumble, and James Washington returns it 46 yards for a touchdown. Washington, a man who's been unhappy, has not started many games of late, feels frustrated, but against this Dallas offense using 5 DBs, Washington a factor. And now to tie. No problem for Eddie Murray. 14:05 left in the third. It's tied at 13. In the Georgia Dome, the Dallas defense has struck quickly here in the second half. Leon Lett forcing the fumble, and James Washington returning at 46 yards. And now the kickoff from the 20 by Murray. Copeland settles at the 15. 30. 35, and protecting the ball to the 37-yard line. Let's go back to the big Dallas play.
Well, we've talked so much about Leon Lett, and it's been nothing but negative, but there he is right there. He's going to beat Kent Hull around the block and strip the ball away from Thurman Thomas. Then Washington picks it up again from behind the offense. Great job, Leon Lett. Super strength to beat Kent Hull, and then Washington with the big return. And we said Dallas has a lot of weapons. We just didn't include their defense.
James Washington, who played at UCLA with Troy Aikman and Ken Norton and Thurman Thomas. 2 fumbles have led to 10 points, a field goal, and now the touchdown, and he's unhappy. Thomas gets it back. And only a couple of yards to the 39. After the play, Jim Kelly realizing he's got to keep Thomas's mood positive, and Thurman not very receptive.
Thurman Thomas, he does have that problem. He will turn on himself. He'll turn on his teammates. But you're right, Dick. He's got to be a big factor in the rest of this football game.
On 2nd down and 7. Kelly incomplete and almost intercepted. Incomplete as a call, although Larry Brown thought he might have one. Andre Reed was the receiver. Leon led a year ago. Well, no, this is the fumble by Thomas just at the end of the first half. And that one led to a touchdown and a 28-10 Dallas lead, and the game was over. But now it's just tied. But Thomas, that has to ring up some memories that aren't very pleasant. 3rd down. And Kelly in trouble, and Jeff Coat brings him down. The first sack of the game for Dallas. Jimmy Jones was there as well.
That was an all-out rush by the Dallas Cowboys, and they only needed 4 of them. Jeff Coat on one side. Jumps over the block by Fina. 94 is there. 97 is it. 3 of the 4 defensive linemen on Kelly for that sack.
So the Cowboys defense has responded to the charge of Jimmy Johnson. A fumble return for a touchdown, and now they snuff Buffalo on the next possession. Moore's kick high and short. Fair catch. Kevin Williams at his own 36-yard line. 13-14 remaining in the third. Dallas and Buffalo even. With Bob Trumpy, Thurman Thomas trying to wipe away and having difficulty assimilating his 2 errors that have cost Buffalo 10 points. He's also scored a Buffalo touchdown. So Troy Aikman, first time he gets the ball, the defense has already given him a score and a tie game. He starts from the Dallas 36, and here comes Emmett, ripping through across the 45, 46, 10 yards in the play. Patton with a tackle.
This is a dangerous drive for the Buffalo Bills. If Dallas, with that defensive score, it picks up their spirits, it transfers over to the offense, they're able to control the line of scrimmage. This is a defending Super Bowl champion. They know how to take advantage of opportunity.
10 points off 2 fumbles by Thomas. They spot it at the 45, 2nd and 1, and it's Smith again. Patton and Bruce Smith around his ankles. First down, Dallas. Emmett Smith wearing number 22. Bob Hayes, great speedy wide receiver, the Cowboys, his number. His father played semi-pro football at the age of 43. Emmett Sr. was a defensive back, and Emmett recalls how his daddy could hit.
And that's all he would do is hit.
And now it's Junior's turn, and he's like a different back in the second half. Was carrying tacklers for 8 more. Jeff Wright finally gets him down.
The team that adjusts the best at the halftime generally comes out the winner. To this point, Dallas had made the adjustment. Watch the pull by Newton, 61, and also the lead by Daryl Johnston, 48. Emmett Smith up inside both of them. And Dallas now in a position to give it to their greatest weapon, Emmett Smith.
Only 24 years old and 3 times the rushing champion. He's carried 9, 3, and 9 yards on this drive. Then he gets it again. Breaks a tackle. First down. He's to the Buffalo 36-yard line. 4 carries for Emmett Smith, and Dallas has gone from their own 36-yard line to the Buffalo 36.
Watch one of the great attributes of Emmett Smith, breaking tackles. That's Bruce Smith. That's no kid out there. Bruce Smith, one of the strongest players in the NFL. Emmett Smith has always had that ability to protect one side from the tackler and run with the ball on the other side.
Aikman knows the defense zeroing in on Smith. Let's see if he goes to something big on the air. No, stay with 22. Look at the hole. First down all the way to the 23-yard line with Darryl Talley getting him down.
Well, Dick, Dallas has found something here. Going to the guys up front. The French fry king, Nate Newton, is going to lead up through here. And at 330 pounds, you're definitely going to see a big hole when Newton gets up through there. He gets an excellent block on the linebacker, and again, Emmett Smith breaks an arm tackle. This offensive line of Dallas now slowly taking hold.
82 yards now for Emmett Smith. Smith again. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Darryl Talley went out holding his shoulder after the tackle of Smith on the previous play.
See if we can pick up the action. He makes the tackle on Emmett Smith. Looked like he might have jammed his shoulder when he hit Emmett Smith, but you know he's got to be hurt. Darryl Talley does not come out of many football games.
It's tied at 13, and the Cowboys have taken this ball down the field like a different team than the one we saw in the first half. Richard Harvey has replaced Darryl Talley. Harvey, who played sparingly, he's from Tulane. 2nd and 6 for Aikman. Play action. Smith is after him. It's a screen complete to Daryl Johnston. And the Moose has dropped at the 16-yard line as Mike Lodish makes a good tackle for Buffalo.
Well disguised by the Dallas Cowboys. The fake to Lincoln Coleman, number 44. And Lodish is almost there to make the interception, but the linebackers finally make the tackle. Bruce Smith hits Troy Aikman, and it comes up with some injury. Bruce Smith is coming off to the sideline.
right hand he's favoring.
Like he may have hit his crazy bone or something on the AstroTurf, but he has no feeling in his hand.
Big play, 3rd down and 3, just outside the Buffalo 15.
So Talley is out. No, Talley is back in the ball game, but Bruce Smith is now out.
Oliver Barnett replacing Smith. Barnett, who came to the Bills from Atlanta this year. Emmett breaks a tackle. 10, 5, touchdown! Single-handedly, Emmitt Smith, the league's most valuable player this year, goes downfield, defying the defense with 61 yards on that drive to put him over 100 in the game, 102 total.
He breaks the tackle of Jeff Wright, number 91. How many broken tackles did we see Emmitt Smith make on that drive alone, Dick? Just that drive. He broke a tackle by Bruce Smith. He broke a tackle by Jeff Wright. And we've got an injured Bill down on the field.
Phil Hansen, the starting tackle. And Smith, his emotions driving him even after the touchdown.
You know, and that's unusual for Emmitt Smith. Normally very controlled. There's Emmitt, 22 and 88. Michael Irvin, they love him.
And meanwhile, Hansen being attended to for Buffalo. So the Dallas Cowboys down 13-6 at halftime. In a little over 6 minutes of this second half have scored 2 touchdowns, one on defense and one very impressive drive on offense. And Troy Aikman, you don't have to be a genius to figure out 22, do you? Just give it to 22, and that's what he did the whole drive.
And Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, that's when he's got a good thing. Again, we see the pull by Nate Newton, and Emmitt Smith has the luxury of picking just about any spot he wants to run. He breaks the tackle of Jeff Wright, cuts up inside. What a player. He is just beautiful. In that drive, I think Dallas ran that little trap, that little lead by Nate Newton, that short pull at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Well, Emmitt Smith, who grew up a Cowboy fan, he told us, and idolized Tony Dorsett. And congratulations to Tony Dorsett into the Hall of Fame announced yesterday. In fact, it was a big day for Cowboy stars for Canton yesterday. We'll take the timeout.
You're going to see the injury here, the double team on Hansen, and watch Hansen's right knee. You got about 650 pounds here. You got Gogan, right guard, Williams, right tackle, and Hansen taken to the sideline. Definitely a right knee injury as Emmitt Smith scores easily behind blocking like that. You lead by Newton, a double team by those big guys.
Eddie Murray now for the point after. Hits it. It's 20-13 Dallas. 14 quick points by the Cowboys early in this second half. They're trying everything they can to get Thurman Thomas up. Forget about his own mistakes. And for Buffalo, this would seem to be the acid test of their character in this game. They've fallen behind quickly after enjoying a halftime lead. And as Ahmad Rashad indicated from his experiences with the Minnesota Vikings, when you don't win these games, and that is your history, it doesn't take a lot for the players to say, hey, we just can't do it. It's just not meant to be. And this possession for Kelly and Thurman Thomas, it would seem, if they don't come out with something positive, if they go 3 and out, we may have just seen the end of the game.
Yeah, you're right, Dick. The last drive by Dallas, that was the dangerous drive for the defense to face. I agree with you. This is now the critical drive for the offense to face.
Beebe and Copeland are deep. Someone for Buffalo needs to come up with a big play in this turn. Murray kicks it the other way toward Beebe. First time. And he puts a spot on the sidelines. A nifty piece of running by Beebe, and he gets it out to the 36-yard line. And a good start for Buffalo. Thomas Everett makes the tackle. Oh, Buffalo in the second half, 6 yards, no points. Dallas, 14 points, 64 on offense, and 47 on the fumble return. Kelly, oh my, Kenneth Davis doesn't have a chance. Tony Tolbert played it perfectly on the defensive wing.
That play will not work against this defense. I don't care what quarter it's in. This is a recognition defense. This is a separate defense from blockers. You see Tony Casillas is right in his face, and Tolbert right there to make the tackle.
So Thurman Thomas, whether it's the cramps or whether the two fumbles have discouraged Marv Levy, he's going with Kenneth Davis on this trip. 2nd and 18. Davis gets a little hole and out to the 36-yard line. Tolbert gets the tackle again.
Dick, frankly, I don't think Marv Levy has any choice but to go with Kenneth Davis here. I mean, if they can hang on to the football, Buffalo can hang on to the football, even though Thurman is putting his helmet on. I know they share duty, but Kenneth Davis has not fumbled the ball twice in this game.
3rd down and 11. Davis again, and Davis is close to a first down at the 47. It'll depend on the spot. It's going to be very close. James Washington made the tackle, and that was a quick hitter by Buffalo.
Tip of the cap to the center, Kent Hall. He's the one that's got to angle the snap just a little bit, surprise the Dallas defense. And I don't think there's any choice here for Buffalo. I mean, if they don't make it here, this is absolutely a 4th and go for it situation.
Well, there's 7:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a man at 65, Marv Levy, might be a bit more conservative than the other.
But I think he needs to put some emotion.
Well, they got it anyway. Tickles the yardstick. Jimmy Johnson. Oh, I wish we could have had a microphone in that. Well, maybe we couldn't have shared it with all of you, but I bet the walls, that paint was blistering after Johnson got through at halftime, and his team has responded. Buffalo's turn now. Play action to Davis. Kelly goes long, no one there. Beebe was in the area, but pulled up short, and Kelly was thinking long.
There was good protection for Jim Kelly. The 4-man rush. But I think Dallas is all, looks like they're kind of slowing down on the pass rush, just staying on the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10 for Kelly. Again, good protection to the sidelines. Fine catch. Near sidelines to Bill Brooks. Brooks, who has those dislocated pinky fingers that almost serve as hooks when he makes catches.
This is an excellent pattern run by Bill Brooks on Smith. Gets that separation. Of course, Smith had that injury on the kickoff return, but he sure looks, right, we talked about he looks like a catcher, doesn't he? An old baseball catcher.
But when he cups those two hands, those little fingers kind of serve as outside hooks. Hooks for Brooks. Came from Indianapolis. Caught 411 passes with the Colts. He's from Boston University, and that's close to another first down.
Yeah, it said that last year he watched the Super Bowl at home with his wife in Indianapolis, and he said, frankly, I wasn't that interested. He certainly is now.
First down at the Dallas 43. Jimmy Johnson knows that he was in a position for the kill if his defense could have forced Buffalo 3 and out. But the Bills have answered and move into Dallas territory with a first down at the 43.
This team just can't hang on to the football. If they hang on to the football, look at the position they're in, Dick.
Beebe left, Reed in the slot, Brooks to the right. Kenneth Davis in the backfield with Kelly. It's Davis. Oh, that won't work. You don't reverse your field against this speedy defense of the Cowboys. They'll run you down. Their linemen are possessive of the speed of running backs, and Tolbert and Casillas, as Davis tried to make a little too much out of that play. He had some yardage, and with a reverse loses 3. Thurman Thomas, a spectator.
The trainers were on the sideline working on his calves. They were cramped up, so May just be getting a little rest here.
Yeah, this isn't necessarily punishment. Reed, well covered by Darren Woodson. 3rd down and long for Kelly.
And he's going to face 7 defensive backs now. And the pass rush specialists of the Dallas Cowboys, including Jeff Coat and also Leon Lett. There's the 2 of them.
Yeah, they go with 4 defensive linemen and 7 backs. No linebackers here. Bill Bates plays a linebacker. Kelly to Davis, incomplete. Bill Bates had him covered well, and the Bills' drive is stopped. Chris Moore comes in.
Underthrown by Jim Kelly. He was pressured somewhat. And Bill Bates with excellent coverage on Davis. He was flustered a little bit here again from the 4-man rush. Haley comes from one side. It's Jones, 97, right in his face. Makes Jim Kelly throw that thing right down at Kenneth Davis's knees.
Kevin Williams back at the 10. Remember, 2 punt returns for touchdowns during the season. Moore very high, but also very short. Williams says, get away from it. And it takes a Dallas bounce out of bounds. Not a good kick by Moore. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line, a 22-yard punt. Meanwhile, the All-Stars in the NFL on display here in Super Bowl 28 in the Georgia Dome. The Dallas Cowboys with 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter to take the lead, and they start from their 23. Galbraith, the tight end, in motion. Emmitt Smith. And they run to Bruce Smith's side of the field and are not so successful. He stopped at the 24. Keith Gogenius from Penn State, playing for Mark Maddox, makes the stop. Smith gets a couple more. He's over the 100-yard mark in this game and is averaging almost 96 career postseason. And when you think about the MVP in this game, the Rozelle Award, Pete Rozelle, for the first time, the former commissioner, not watching the game in attendance. He and his wife Carrie watching out in Rancho Santa Fe, California. Emmitt Smith going after the hardware. Aikman on 2nd and long. Irvin wide open. It took forever for the defense to close, and Nate Odoms finally gets there at the 38. 1st down. 14 on the play to Irvin.
Buffalo now trying to put some pressure on Troy Aikman. When they do that, of course, they go back to the away from the double zone, the 2-deep zone that we're talking about, and Troy Aikman finds Michael Irvin open out there, out in the deep out. Odoms with good coverage, but you need great coverage against this offense.
Fake to Smith, underneath to Novacek, the tight end, chopped down by Darryl Talley at the 44.
Now see what that last drive did for Dallas right now is they ran Emmitt Smith so well that now they can go with the play action. And on that particular play, you can see the linebackers right at the line of scrimmage. Novacek catches the ball up underneath Darryl Talley, almost breaks the tackle, but there's so many ways this Dallas offense can affect the defense, and just all that running by Emmitt Smith has now really kept the linebackers a lot closer to the line of scrimmage.
Emmitt runs into his own man and dropped for a loss. Gogenius.
This is the first time they've stopped this power play. Again, they tried double team, and here's Cornelius Bennett, who blows the play up. But in the last drive, they did an excellent job. Bennett gets penetration against Novacek and is able to make the tackle in the backfield.
3rd down and 8. In his 2nd year, Gogenius went to high school for Virginia Beach with Matt Darby, a defensive safety for Buffalo. Kevin Williams is in. They like to run the reverse with him, although he's the man in motion here. Aikman underneath, incomplete. Emmitt Smith covered by Darryl Talley, and Dallas will have to punt. That's a plus for the Buffalo morale.
No question about it, Dick. This was a huge key for Buffalo to stay in this football game.
John Chet, who a year ago was selling copiers. In fact, in February of last year, when Dallas called, and he won the punting job. Beat out Mike Saxon, who had been the Cowboy kicker for 8 years. Oh, Copeland again lets the ball bounce, and it's Dallas bounce to the 15, covered there by Kenneth Gant. 44-yard punt. Timeout with 3:05 left in the third. Welcome back to Georgia. Kelly and Buffalo trailing 20-13 late in the third quarter. Screen to Davis, and he is drilled for a 4-yard loss by Kenneth Gant, the man who likes to do the shark dance. Woodson, rather. Darren Woodson, 28.
Those short screens against this defense have no place in this game. These guys are quick. They're well coached by Butch Davis. Look, an offensive lineman can't even lay a glove on Woodson before he makes the tackle.
They allow progress to the 12 for a 3-yard loss. Over the middle to Don Beebe, breaks a couple of tackles out to the 23-yard line. Thomas Everett and Ken Norton on the stop. 11 on the play. And Thurman Thomas, the word is it's cramps. He's not being punished for the fumbles, but cramps has kept him on the sidelines, although looks like he's getting serious again as he straps on the helmet. Fumble by Davis, as he had trouble with a direct snap, but he recovered the ball. And that means Buffalo will have to punt. So again, the mistakes falling in the column of the Buffalo Bills. They made 9 of them, 9 turnovers last year in that horrendous defeat in Pasadena.
Well, the last one that worked, Davis was standing on the right side of Jim Kelly. This one, the snap is a little high. And Davis has got to not only concentrate on the football, but also on the blocking.
Chris Moore, who's had some short kicks, has the full field now to try to lay into a long one. And does hit a good one. Williams back at the 27-yard line. Oh, what a block, and then Williams ripped down shy of the 30. Good tackle by Mark Maddox, a 50-yard punt. 3 on the return, and the block credit to James Washington, the man who scored on the fumble return.
Well, Gardner gets absolutely hammered. Oh, it's Ken Norton, 51, who makes the block. The linebacker, an all-pro middle linebacker down covering punts. How about that? Darwell Gardner right on his keister. That's a major league hit for a Pro Bowl player. Gardner still feels the effects.
Gardner, a big man, too. A 244-pounder.
So far, the Buffalo defense put itself well here. Again, they've got to stop Dallas, but they need a turnover.
1:20 left in the third period. 20-13 Dallas. Lincoln Coleman dragged down for a loss. Darryl Talley, despite a bad shoulder, makes the tackle.
Catches it from behind. You see they run a game. Bruce goes to the outside. Talley runs to the inside and catches that little delay from the back. Not supposed to be able to do that. Is there anything wrong with Emmitt Smith?
Well, Lincoln Coleman, who is a great story. We told you about him on Thanksgiving Day. Out of football, played semi-pro ball, played arena ball, then had the big game in the ice storm on Thanksgiving. 2nd and 13. Aikman, well protected down the middle, off the fingertips of Novacek. He was open at the 45.
And I see with Emmitt Smith not in there and not the real threat to run the ball the way that Coleman does, they got to go back inside to the tight end. Buffalo can stay with the double zone, and now these guys they got to find another way to get the ball down the field until Emmitt gets back in the ball game. We understand that they're massaging his back on the sideline, but right now they need Emmitt Smith in there.
Well, they stay with just Darrell Johnston alone, set back, and go with the third wide receiver, Kevin Williams, on 3rd and long. Aikman dumps it incomplete to Novacek in traffic, and Bruce Smith was trailing the play. 3 and out for Dallas.
Well, you see how important Emmitt Smith is to this Dallas offense. Yeah. If he's healthy, they just run the ball, but they got to come with the tricky little stuff here.
Now, without him, they started 0-2 this year, losing to Washington, losing to Buffalo. And then Jerry Jones got out the wallet and the pen, signed up Emmitt, and Emmitt played right off the bat, and they beat Phoenix, and off they went. Russell Copeland back at the 30. Beautiful kick. Copeland looks for a block and to the 31-yard line. 46-yard punt, 4 on the return. Elvis Patterson makes the tackle. Michael Jordan. Emmitt Smith told us that he met and went to dinner with Michael Jordan this year, and you talk about awestruck. Emmitt Smith was just a bubble. Almost intercepted as Kelly's pass for Reed right to Kevin Smith. He was in better position to catch it than was Reed.
Yeah, these defensive corners now of Dallas are starting to sit on these short patterns, Dick. They're reading the drop of the quarterback. Kelly's not going to have to try something deep here just to alleviate some of the pressure.
Emmett Davis continues at running back. Thurman Thomas on the sideline here in the second half. It's Davis. Gets a little hole and gains 4 to the 35. Jimmy Jones on the stop, and that probably the final play of the third quarter. A big quarter for Dallas, a bad quarter for Thurman Thomas. Thomas's fumble returned for a quick touchdown in the first minute of the third period to tie the score, and then Emmitt Smith took over. 20-13 Cowboys. To the fourth quarter we go. The Cowboys, the favorites, by a touchdown. Thurman Thomas back in the game. 3rd down and 5. Intercepted. James Washington again. And Washington down at the 34-yard line.
Dick, you could see it coming. You could see it coming. Washington was just sitting back there hoping somebody would throw it his way. Here's Washington. Here's the primary receiver. He's reading Kelly's eyes. From the moment Jim Kelly sets up, he's looking back at Don Beebe. Washington reads it all the way and makes the pick.
Washington with a big game. James MacArthur, Washington. He wears 37 because Lester Hayes of the Raiders was his idol, and Kelly intercepted for the first time in 140 passes. And now Aikman starts at the 34 of the Bills. Flags are down. That'll be a false start, Dallas.
Dick, I do see Emmitt Smith back in the ball game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Before the snap, number 79 offense. 5 yards, first down.
James Washington was drafted by the Rams in '88 and then picked up. He was a teammate of Troy Aikman and Ken Norton with the Bruins. Helps the homeless in Los Angeles. Has a shelter 37 after his number to help the homeless in the city.
You know, he wouldn't have started tonight if the Dallas Cowboys hadn't gone with that 4-5 defense to try to defense the K-gun of Buffalo, and it worked.
1st and 15. It's Emmett. Look at him, just driving the tackler, Oliver Barnett. Barnett is 292 pounds. Smith is 209 pounds. You talk about leverage, getting low and driving. What leg strength.
Says he's not a slasher. He's more of a power runner. Always carries it in his left hand. Look, gets low, keeps driving those legs. And it's pretty remarkable that he wins the NFL rushing title in a matter of 14 games, not the usual 16 with that 2-game holdout.
He started slowly, but that's kind of his pattern. It was even last year in the Super Bowl. The second half is when you see the real Emmitt Smith. And 2nd down, Aikman. Out of the backfield, Smith runs right away from Patton. Breaks a tackle of Gogenius. And finally dropped by Jones close to a first down at the 24.
Dick, I think when this game is over, I'd like to watch this game again on replay, only to count the number of tackles that Emmitt Smith breaks. It happens again here. A nice little move, and then Patton misses him completely, but he runs through the arms of Gogenius. I mean, time and time again. We're not talking about a big bruising kid. We're talking about just solid rock inside that uniform.
So despite the false start on first down, Cowboys get 15 in 2 plays on the first down at the 24. Well, Emmitt Smith, this is a good place for the Smith clan, this Georgia Dome. The Peach Bowl is played here, and Clemson beat Kentucky in the Peach Bowl last holiday, 14-13, the MVP for Clemson. Emery Smith.
Oh,
younger
no.
brother.
Is that right? The Smiths like it here.
20-13. 13:35 left in the fourth quarter. Smith again. And he has nearly 5 to the 19 before Bruce Smith can make the stop. And it appears to be the Bills that are worn out trying to stop Emmitt Smith, and Kelly pacing the sidelines, hoping the defense can hold and he can get back on the field. Cornelius Bennett shaken as he comes out.
We've had a steady stream of Buffalo Bill defenders to the sideline.
Mark Maddox replaces him.
Of course, that front line of the Dallas Cowboys, they'll beat you up, wear you out.
Great play action, and Aikman now run out of bounds by Jeff Wright. Goes out at the 22-yard line. That's a sack then for Wright, a 2-yard loss.
Troy Aikman made a very smart decision there. He kind of had somebody open. But in this situation, knowing that the turnover is probably the only thing that can get Buffalo back in the game, he just runs out of bounds. That's part of the maturing of Troy Aikman under Jimmy Johnson and also Norv Turner.
Jimmy Johnson, the only man to ever win a national collegiate championship as a player, as a coach, and then win the Super Bowl championship. 3 rings.
He has a boat with that name on it.
Timeout called by Troy Aikman with 12:20 to go, and Dallas leading by 7. Worn 150 feet off a very good artificial carpet. It's about as spongy and soft and protective as we've ever walked on.
That's because they only play football here. When you have the baseball combination, the surface has to be a little harder.
Huge play for Buffalo, trailing by 7. Dallas 3rd down and 8.
It's
Aikman throwing wide open as Harper. Odoms gets him out of bounds at the 6. 1st and goal, Dallas.
well, you take the chance up front to try to put pressure on Troy Aikman. The net result is you've got single coverage. You're going to see people coming from all over the place here to try to put pressure on Troy Aikman. But the other problem is you've got to cover somebody. And the lack of speed by the defensive backs of the Dallas Cowboys. Too much cushion by Nate Odoms. An easy completion for a 1st down. And it's 1st and goal, Dallas.
With 12 minutes to go. Moving way out to the right. Emmitt Smith time. And he gets a couple. Bruce Smith, Oliver Barnett making the stop in the center of the defense. And that big offensive line. We said speed on defense for Dallas. Huge lineman. Look at the average weight of that offensive line, 313. The defense of the Bills, 264. They just, well, it's like the Washington Redskins. It's a Joe Gibbs line, isn't it?
No question. But the difference is these guys are a little more active than Joe Gibbs' offensive line. All these big guys can move.
2nd and goal. Smith again. Stopped shy of the 1. Jeff Wright down around the ankles. Wright from Central Missouri State. And he's one of those smaller, more active defensive linemen going against a man 35 pounds heavier.
He thought playing on AstroTurf would help him because he'd have better footing. He complained that last year in the Rose Bowl, the big guys just shoved him all over the place and he couldn't keep his footing. Well, that offensive line has basically worn out the Buffalo defensive line.
Harper goes out. You can hear some of the fans with the chorus of Moose. They'd like to see Darrell Johnston get a touchdown. 3rd and goal outside the 1. Johnston in motion. It's Smith up the middle to the goal line. No signal yet. No, he's down right at the goal line. Talley and Henry Jones with the stop. 4th and goal. And Jimmy Johnson is going to go for it right here. Big play.
Excellent job by the Buffalo defense coming from the inside. When Emmitt Smith cuts back, looks like Darryl Talley, 56, makes the tackle. But now you've got big, now you've got bigger. Frank Cornish comes in at center. They move offensive linemen all over the place. You've got eligible receivers wearing lineman numbers. This is a huge offensive line now.
This is a one-touchdown game if Buffalo stops, a two-touchdown lead if Dallas succeeds. Smith, touchdown. The interception by James Washington, setting up the Emmitt Smith score on 4th down. And Smith now with 117 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns to lead Dallas. Extra point. 27-13 Cowboys. Smith takes all those touchdown balls home back to the Pensacola, to the trading shop store. And with 9:50 to go, the pressure again on Buffalo. 3 Buffalo turnovers, 17 Dallas points. 9:50 to go. There they are. 2 Emmitt. Thurman Thomas fumbles, leading to 10, and the interception of Kelly on that 34-yard drive. Murray to Copeland inside the 5. Copeland drilled at the 23-yard line, but Bill Bates, the veteran from Tennessee who didn't play last year.
Watch the blocking here, Dick. Kogan down, 2-8 down, and the nice kickouts right here. It's really easy for Emmitt Smith to run this ball in. Excellent blocking out front, good blocking down. That's the power play. Jim Kelly keeps saying, hey, no problem, we'll get it done. No problem. Okay.
James Washington, a big defensive star, a fumble return, 46 yards for a touchdown, and an interception to set up another. Kelly chased from behind. Down at the 30, didn't like the fact that Washington went after him, but he didn't slide. You go head first, you're fair game.
Absolutely.
You're like anyone else.
You're a running back.
Gain of 7 for Kelly.
And that's the 4th time they've run that shovel pass. It worked a little bit in the first half, Dick, but I mean, they're down by 14 points here. We got to get the ball in the air no matter what can happen. That's not going to accomplish anything.
3rd down and less than 2, but closer to 2 than a yard. Kelly will scramble, and now the slide, and the 1st down at the 35-yard line. Ken Norton there for Dallas. Clock now becomes a factor with 8:22 and running. With Buffalo down by 2 scores, they need a quick touchdown and need another possession and hope that they can stop Dallas. 1st down was very kind to Marv Levy's play calling in the 1st half, not so here in the 2nd. Kelly to the sidelines. Brooks. 2 Cowboys there to deny him any yardage. Kevin Smith and James Washington, and that Washington is everywhere.
Yeah.
He had an interception last year in the Super Bowl.
The Dallas defense now is in the frame of mind that they want. This is where Dallas's defense is probably at its best. They have those great pass rushers up front. They also have excellent speeds, closing speed in their cornerbacks and safeties.
Thomas. Oh, Jimmy Jones invades the backfield and makes the tackle. Jones, who played at Miami of Florida with Cortez Kennedy and Russell, Maryland, after Jerome Brown graduated. Boy, what a group of inside talent they had there, recruited by Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, for this game, Jimmy Johnson made sure he had 5 defensive tackles activated for this K-gun so that no one would get worn out.
Loss of a yard, it's 3rd and 10. Uh-oh, down goes Kelly. Jones with a sack.
Jones gets him. Jeffcoat was about to. Jones comes from the right. Look at Jeffcoat right at his feet. Ran right over John Pena. And now these guys are in their track meet mode. Watch the football, get upfield, and make the sack.
Very high, but also very short by Moore. Does not take a Buffalo bounce, and Dallas gets the ball near midfield. Carwell Gardner grounds it at the 49. Timeout. 7 minutes to go. The Dallas Cowboys that far from making it 10 straight wins for the NFC champion. Thurman Thomas have a tough time digesting what has happened to him today. 2 crucial fumbles that have led to 10 points. One on a fumble recovery, 46-yard run. Kelly with an interception. No, you have 20 yards total passing in the second half. And now Aikman, sitting on a 2-touchdown lead, gives it to the man, Emmitt Smith. He's to the 46-yard line.
Pick from overhead here in the Georgia Dome. He's going to run right. Lead block by Harold Johnston. Good job by Novacek. Eric Williams, 79. Yeah, when you got that guy in the backfield, that guy is a gem. That guy is he is the lead horse. He's the lead dog. He is the epicenter of this football team.
Does not fumble. 340 touches this year. 1 fumble. Second down 5. Oliver Barnett and Darryl Talley the tackle, shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and a long 2.
Look at the offensive lineman helping him up. This guy, it's seldom you find a player of his magnitude so universally liked on the football team. He and Michael Irvin always have smiles on their faces, but he is the center of this football team. I think Jerry Jones found that out at the beginning of the season.
The spirit of the team, because it wasn't just his physical contribution. When we saw that second game when Buffalo beat Dallas, the players were missing Emmitt's spirit. He is such a terrific guy in the locker room as well. Play action by Aikman. To the tight end, Novacek got another first down. 39, not too greedy, just get enough. Tackle made by Matt Darby, and it was Darby who made the interception in Dallas on the final play of the game that gave Buffalo the win, 13-10.
This is a little bootleg by Troy Aikman. Well done. Looks like Darby bangs his head here. He's very slow getting up. He is back up, but didn't like the head. The hit there. Arnold Levy staring at 4 straight Super Bowl losses.
No team in the history of American team sports, professional sports, has gone to the championship of its sport, World Series, National Hockey League, NBA, NFL, and lost 4 straight times. Never. And we're 5 minutes away from Buffalo having that ignominious honor.
97.
I think it's set in on the Buffalo sideline that this is a part of history they did not want their name attached to.
Second down and 7. Dale Hellestray is now at center for Dallas. And Aikman apparently wants a timeout, but won't call time until he uses as much off the clock as he can. 4:17 to go. James William Johnson, age 50. And a lot of people around football, just not knowing him from the outside, perhaps don't like him, and even some coaches say he'll get his someday. He's brash, he's cocky, but he's also very good. And he has plans. He's got one of his Corvettes parked at the hotel here in Atlanta, and there's the 3 rings in the Biscayne Harbor. That's where he's headed after the game. 3 rings, standing for his ring for the National Collegiate Championship as a player on the '64 Arkansas team that went 11-0 under Frank Broyles. His ring from the University of Miami as the National Collegiate Champions as a coach, and his ring from last year. And we asked, well, wait a minute, if you win, that's 4 rings. You're going to get out the paint. He said, no, I'm just celebrating the fact that he didn't have to tell us. He's the only man who's ever done that.
Yes. How dare us wonder why only 3 rings. But you would figure he'd buy a boat. You're in complete control, and you're the captain of your own boat. Complete control.
2nd and 7. Aikman looking for a big one. Goes to Irvin. And he was a step shy. Checked just enough by Mickey Washington that he couldn't get there. Mark Kelso came over from his deep safety spot as well.
He almost ran right through Mickey Washington. So he's just going to push him out of his way. This is one of the strongest receivers you'll find in the NFL.
Well, what a draft that was in '88. He was the 3rd wide receiver pick behind Sterling Sharp and Tim Brown. The first 11 players, Sharp, Brown, and Irvin.
Well, I don't think any one of the teams has gone wrong with any one of those 3, but Irvin may emerge as the best.
3rd down and long for Aikman. Lots of time down the field. He goes to Harper. Harper to the 1. Odoms got a piece of him, and Kelso. And one has to wonder, Kelso plays so deep, it's almost as if you're playing against a 10-man defense.
Well, this was a double zone. Kelso is supposed to be over there and help on the coverage. Odoms has him underneath. The free safety. Oh, nice hesitation by Harper. Then the acceleration. This, again, is a problem for the Buffalo defense. They don't have the speed. Kelso there to make the hit, but not there for the coverage.
And here you have Odoms, a Pro Bowler who tied Eugene Robinson for interceptions with 9. Never even got a chance to look for the ball.
Not at all.
And Aikman lets it run down. 3:23 on the clock. 4 shots from the 1-yard line to take a 3-touchdown lead. That's the last Dallas timeout.
Well, do we talk dynasty here for the Dallas Cowboys?
It's a young team. The frightening aspect for the rest of the NFL clubs. This is not an aging team. Buffalo, perhaps, this is the end of the dynasty 4 in a row, although many said that last year. They have some age. But Dallas is one of the youngest teams in the NFL.
To continue our conversation on dynasty, this is where Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones are going to be dangerous together. These guys like coming to the Super Bowl. These guys have a lot of fingers for Super Bowl rings. They want to continue this run, and Jerry Jones will spend the money that Jimmy Johnson wants to give out.
4 shots from the 1 for a 3-touchdown lead, and Emmitt Smith. Nope, they don't get it off. Hunker down, false start. If Emmitt Smith scores a rushing touchdown.
For the snap, number 68, offense. 5 yards.
Frank Cornish, whose dad played in the Super Bowl with the Bears, so a father-son Super Bowl combination, the first ever. Back to Emmitt Smith. Now it's 4 shots from 6 away. If he should score a rushing touchdown, he also has a Super Bowl record. Surprisingly, in this, the 28th Classic, no runner has ever scored 3 rushing touchdowns.
Well, let's give it to Emmitt.
One of those is coaching here with Buffalo, Elijah Pitts of the Green Bay Packers. Smith to the 1, so he gets the 5 back. It's 2nd and goal.
Do you get the feeling that the Dallas sideline knows what the record is and would like to have Emmitt Smith's name on that record? He seems to get stronger as the game goes on. Of course, great blocking again up front by Darryl Johnston, 2-A.
And Smith also, if he scores, it'll be 4 Super Bowl touchdowns rushing, and Franco Harris has the record with 4.
Just 4. That does surprise me. I was also shocked to learn, and I should know better than this, that Emmitt Smith was the first most valuable player for the league from the Dallas Cowboys.
That is a shock.
I mean, that just, I thought it was a misprint the first time that I saw it.
Thurman Thomas in the offseason was invited by Emmitt Smith to come to Dallas and work in his football camp for kids. And Thurman went down there for a day and stayed a week. And he and Emmitt have developed a very close relationship. They're built the same way. They run the same way. They have the same interests, he said. Both men said. And I would guess that Emmitt will find a way to console Thurman. It's the hearts are heavy and the pain is deep for Buffalo, but perhaps no one hurts more than number 34. Second and goal. Darrell Johnston, second effort doesn't get in. It'll be third and goal. Now they try to give one for Moose, and Buffalo spends a timeout with 3 minutes and a tick left.
Dick, that's almost painful to look at the Buffalo bench. Anyone who has ever been an athlete, been part of a team, to be so close so often and come away short.
You know, Marv Levy is a big Chicago Cubs fan. Couldn't help but notice the Cubs' new manager Tom Trebelhorn saying, you know, the last time the Cubs won a World Series was 1908. The last time they were in one was 1945, and Trebelhorn added, hey, any team can have a bad century. Super Bowl 25, when he rushed for well over 100, was the star of the game in many eyes, but because of the missed field goal by Norwood, it fell into Jeff Hostetler's lap for the Giants, the winners. But since then, this final game of the year, unkindest of all to Thurman. Third and goal from the 1. Will Emmitt Smith have the single game rushing record for touchdowns? No, he is denied. Good push by Darryl Talley, Henry Jones, and Bruce Smith.
These Buffalo Bills will not go down quietly.
Last time out for Buffalo.
Jimmy Johnson told us this has not been a fun year for him. With the holdout, he said the Emmitt Smith distraction was probably as much a distraction to him as it was to players. And with the injuries that he went through, he said, told us earlier in the season, he said, you know, I yelled at him, I screamed at him, I got in their face. It didn't have any effect. And then suddenly it was fixed by the return of Emmitt Smith. And when Jimmy has control of a football team, they seldom play a bad game. They play a bad half, but they seldom play a bad game.
He's a player's coach. You watch practice this week here in Atlanta. He's out there for one moment running with a defense and an interception drill. Then he's over chewing on somebody very seriously because they've missed a block. His team, and he's a psychology major, and he knows how to get them ready. Here's Murray with his third field goal attempt, 20 yards. And the Dallas Cowboys lead 30-13. And the Cowboys, with credit to Jimmy Johnson at halftime, have thrown a 24-0 second half shutout. Don Beebe, Russell Copeland, with 2:50 left. It's Beebe. One of the few men who can outrun the Dallas defenders, and he's out to the 34-yard line. Thomas Everett, one of 11 Cowboys to go to the Pro Bowl, made the stop. Well, Bernie Kosar. He got $1 million after Cleveland showed him the exit midseason, and almost went with Don Shula in Miami. Yes. He has a place right near the Miami camp, but his old coach Jimmy Johnson called and said, come on over. He said, does he feel a part of this team?
He said, yes, I have contributed. He played in the conference championship game last week. Also, about 4 days education in the Dallas offense. Started in the Phoenix game, and that was a win when Troy Aikman was hurt. So Bernie Kosar will proudly put that ring on his finger.
It's after with Cleveland 3 times to the AFC championship, and Denver Broncos were always in the way.
He got Elway 3 times.
18 yards on the catch by Beebe. First down at the 48. 2:33 left. Direct snap to Davis. And that will only serve to chew up some more time because Buffalo cannot call a timeout. Woodson and Hennings in on the tackle.
Number 40.
Kelly underneath to his tight end McKellers, and a flag down. That'll stop the clock with 2:06 remaining. Bates, the tackler. Surprisingly few fouls called in this game, and that one goes against Buffalo. That's the first penalty against Buffalo in the game. Jerry Jones, the owner. Well, as Bob Costas talked to both of them, and you know that it's a love, maybe even a little hate relationship between owner and coach. But Jones says, I've got Johnson for 5. He knows a good thing when he's got it locked up. And Jimmy Johnson, if he wants to coach in the NFL, is going to be with Dallas for 5 more years, one would think. And Jones has been one of the most forward-thinking owners in regard to the salary cap and free agency. You have a feeling that Dallas is going to be very active and very successful in what's going to happen in the next month or so. Screen to Davis. And Davis is to the 45, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Well, they're getting ready to barbecue down in the Lone Star State, 30-13. For the first time, they start to celebrate on the Dallas sidelines, and we'll keep an eye on Jimmy Johnson. It looked like Troy Aikman was starting to set up for the Gatorade bath. On third down, Kelly. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Chad Hennings. Hennings from the Air Force Academy. Was a 2-time GT academic All-America there. Flew those tank buster Warthogs in the Persian Gulf crisis.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Look who's at the ice bucket. Uh-oh.
Leon Lett looked to be the man. 4th down, Buffalo's last call. Kelly does find Brooks for a first down at the 31. Another punishing tackle by James Washington. Who would get my vote for the defensive player of the game, and Emmitt Smith undoubtedly will be the man going to Disneyland.
There's the bucket. Leon Lett, he's going to love this. He's had so much attention for the wrong things. He's going to get some of the good stuff. That
who says this is going to be the right thing for Johnson? I just hope Leon doesn't drop it. Incomplete as Kelly is hit by Jim Jeffco. Well, thanks to our long-time partners and throughout this season, John Francis, our producer, John Gonzalez, our director. This has been an all-pro, our NBC all-pro team, providing you with the pictures and pathos.
I think this is a relief for Jimmy Johnson. Last year, he felt that he had by far the better team. I think he's relieved.
2nd down and 10 with 1:14 left. Kelly, Beebe knocked out of bounds by Larry Brown. No flag. Thanks also to the Scott Burchold of the Buffalo Bills and Rich Dalrymple, who is here with Dallas Cowboys, their public relations director. His father passed away 2 days ago in Pittsburgh, and our sympathies go with Rich Dalrymple and his family. Rush Schneiderman, Joe Costanza, Michael Gluck, Kerry Heller, thanks for your help in the booth. Bruce Smith, tough in the first half, but injured early in the second half, and Bruce will go home with another almost. Kelly just surrounded. Just the hounds and the fox.
When Buffalo got to the point where they had to throw, that's exactly what Dallas was looking for. Dick, I have a question for you. You've been around sports for a long time.
Wait a minute. You could get 2 for 1 here.
No.
You could get Jones and Johnson.
Wait a minute. Jimmy might be setting up Jerry here.
Well, maybe.
No. Is he setting him up?
This is no.
What an opportunity.
That could have been the first Super Bowl 2 for 1 celebration bath.
Can you get the owner? Is that allowed? I guess if you're on the sideline, you're fair game.
They got him as Kelly throws complete underneath. And it's Bill Brooks for a first down as Buffalo tries to at least get a cosmetic score here at the end of the game.
Newton's holding him.
So that's a long.
Oh, he sees it.
Newton, that's a 10-yard penalty. Newton, I saw him holding. No flag. Got away with one.
Jimmy has caught on, hasn't he?
Oh, it's tough to miss that here. One swipe of the hand, and he'll be ready for the prom. 38 seconds to go, and for Buffalo, trailing 30-13. Bill's trying to get a touchdown that with a I guess they were around a 10-point favorite. Would put it right on the mark, wouldn't it? Kelly, no timeouts. Down he goes. Third sack of the game, and it's Tony Tolbert who gets it. He's from University of Texas, El Paso.
On the tackle.
Who misses it? Oh, Emmett gets him.
Well, this has become a deja vu. Emmett Smith. He's the one man who do anything he wants to Coach Johnson. As you said earlier, there are different rules for different players. You treat Emmitt Smith differently than a rookie. Not close with 10 seconds to go, and Buffalo now perhaps with 2 plays remaining. No, it's down to 4th down, only 1. Stay with us. We'll have all the post-game interviews. We understand the President of the United States is ready to make a call. A man from Arkansas to send his salute on to 2 Arkansas grads, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. And here it is. Final play for Buffalo. Unless they get a first down. They go to Beebe, but Beebe's going to run out of bounds short of the first down, and Dallas takes over on down.
Why did he throw it there?
For Jerry Jones, he was talking with us the other day, and he said, my attitude is peak on peak. I'm going to build my own Alps. I'm not going to just stop with 1 championship. We'll get 2 this time, and they're already going to be planning for number 3. Frightening aspect for those who will oppose this very rich in talent Dallas football organization. And it really all started with Johnson and the trade of Herschel Walker.
That's right. And you know, the other thing is last year they lost Dave Wanstead, defensive coordinator, to Chicago. They come back and win the NFC and the Super Bowl again. This year they're going to lose Norv Turner to the Washington Redskins.
Their offensive
coordinator.
He'll be the new head coach in Washington. That'll be announced shortly.
So they just keep turning them over, turning them out.
3 rings Johnson and the Dallas Cowboys 30-13. And here's a big surprise. Emmitt Smith is the Roselle Award winner as the most valuable player, and Bernie Kosar will get a snap, be able to say at least when he wears the ring, yes, I played in Atlanta in 1994. Congratulations, Dallas. Buffalo, there are no words. First time that Aikman's gone down in the game, sacked by the press. 30-13 Dallas. The Dallas dynasty is real. How many more years for a runner that's only 24 and is the best in his profession?
I think he's looking for his buddy Thurman Thomas to console him.
We'll have interviews from both sides and 2 Super Bowl champion coaches, Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs, to analyze this second half. Bills led by a touchdown, 13-6 at halftime, and that was all they would get as the Dallas Cowboys took control. Here they are. Herman and Emmitt. That's nice. On top of everything else, Emmitt Smith is such a
Yes, he is.
Emmitt heard the words from Thurman, you're the best running back in the NFL. And Emmitt then offered the same to Thurman Thomas. Well, that's kind, but perhaps not totally correct. Well, thank you for being with us around the country.